Who are these people? They are awful and horrifying, and I love them.
Oh, thanks.
Program the computer. We create a mental atmosphere.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked it.
We are so ready for you. It's Mornings on the Beach, your Saturday, Sunday morning show, right here on KLBP. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And today on the show, a warning for local dog owners. You're going to hear about this if you haven't already. And also, the city wants to hear from you about its open spaces and recreation, which is close to our heart. So we've got someone in here we're going to talk to.
Awesome.
Coming on up.
Awesome.
Mike?
Hey, you want to know what music Mega listens to?
No, not really.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, it might surprise you.
Probably not. Oh, sorry.
That's jaded Melanie.
I'm
Yeah.
having her. I read the news before I got up today. It was a mistake. But I did search for good news, and the best I could find is an example of sensible resistance. See if you're doing some of these things already.
I am sensibly resisting. I took a peek at the list. We'll see, but how's everybody doing?
It's been a rough news week, man.
Tell me about it. We'll get to that too, coming on up. And I decided that I thought everybody talks all about the national news, right? Because what else would you talk about if you're doing a show like we are?
It's hard to ignore.
Yes, but I thought let's flip it on its head and let's start really doing stories about local, right here in Long Beach, things that are important to people in Long Beach, which is why I led with that alert for dogs, because that's something that's going around. But if you are a listener to the radio station, you can't help but hear that we are going on a cruise. This Thursday is coming up.
Yeah, baby.
It's going to be great, especially if you have been out at night here in Long Beach. Those breezes that blow around 7:30 p.m.
Gorgeous sunsets.
Yeah, and it was about 80 degrees during this week, about 81, 82. And being on the water and watching the sunset, doesn't that sound good? Enjoying dinner, having a glass of wine. Well, it's all about helping us with a good cause, because we're looking to build a new newsroom.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We really need it.
Yes, we do.
And this is a way for us to say, everybody in the sphere of public media is asking for your money. But how many are giving you something for it? Rather than programming, of course, and it's important. I'm not saying it isn't.
Right.
But man, is it tough to raise money in this environment.
Well, and not just a thing, an experience.
Yeah.
Right? Not just a T-shirt, but an experience to go and be with people for a couple hours, listen to music, look at the scenery, get out of the city a little bit.
I love that.
You should come.
And the doggy's coming. Our mascot,
yeah, of
Boomer's
course.
coming.
Boomer.
You got approval.
I did. I got him approved in advance.
Does he have to wear a life jacket?
You probably. He'll look good in that.
He will.
But we're also been on the show about getting out of your house and coming and joining us in person. There's something to be said for that. I know last night I was here at the station when we were recording for the Tiki Room.
Yes.
On my way home, my spirit was so light because
Mine
I was around
too.
folks. And
mine was too.
I love that.
It's a great experience, and he's talking about Soul Collective live at Secret Island, and it's 2 hours of spoken word and music and love, like really a supportive community, and it's developing, and I come out of that show feeling high on life every time.
And I come because it's just part of the group, and the station's live at night, and people are running in and out of here, and some of the storytelling, wow. Melanie, wow, you just moved me with your stories. It's one of those things where I recommend you turn off the television.
Yeah.
We're going to give you something Netflix can't give you, which is a local experience right here in your town at one of the local watering holes. It's one of those things where it adds to something out in the community to know that other people are feeling your feelings and they're expressing them.
Right.
I always thought if one person writes to a radio show, it means 100 people felt the same way.
Exactly.
I felt the same way last night, saying, wow, I love hearing what they're saying because it just speaks to my heart. And then there's great music with Chad Bishop and his group.
And we're so isolated, in the news and in the media and online and blah, blah, blah. And to be in a room full of people is really, you can't recreate it.
So de-ice Solate, and come on out on Thursday to be part of the cruise. because it's going to be a lot of fun. There are individual tickets available. klbp.org/donate is where you can find out about those tickets and get one. And we hope to see you. So, like I said, it's helping us greatly, giving also you a breather in the middle of your hot week. So, We'll see you then. This week, talk about the news that came out. This is an important announcement if you have a dog, especially if you're in downtown Long Beach. Apparently, typhus is on the move again, and this is something that happens every year. They get,
is it?
Yeah, they get about 20 cases of typhus a year from flea bites that your dog picks up, or feral cats. If they're messing around with a feral cat, break that apart.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah, you first.
No, you first.
Have you ever tried to break up a cat-dog fight?
Yes.
It ain't pretty.
I have the scars on my arm
No
to
kidding.
prove it. Yeah. But they're saying you want to keep your pet, you want to be vigilant. A lot of the cases that were reported in the last month were from the Bixby Park, right in downtown, Broadway and Cherry.
I heard. I gave my dog the big pill yesterday.
I did too.
Yeah.
I'm on the board of directors for that dog park. And so I'm concerned about how people react. Reached out to the Long Beach Post, who printed the information for everyone, and we shared that all over, because you want to be careful that your dog doesn't get sick.
Right.
There's a few fatalities for humans, but there have been some. I'm not going to scare anybody. However, keep your dog on flea medication. That's important.
Yeah.
And also avoid feral cats or interactions with feral cats, because they're not getting any flea medication. And I don't know about you. You ever tried using the flea collars, the little things they don't seem to work.
Cats are unruly
Yeah.
mofos. Stay away from the wild ones.
My cat's a thug. My female cat. Yeah. If
Mine moved out. Just was like, see ya.
Well, mine did too. She lives in the building space between my building and the one next door. She comes in and eats, and then goes back to that space. And I think she's carrying on with the raccoon. I'm not quite sure. But
Well, we don't need to hear about that in the morning.
It's a family show.
Come on now.
the downtown experiment this past weekend, again, another thing to help invigorate the downtown area, which is to make an entertainment zone so people could drink outdoors. And I passed by around 3:30 p.m. It was already well underway. And apparently they had like 2,000 people join them for that evening. They were serving off carts on the promenade between Broadway and 3rd.
Great.
And brought a lot of people. Some of the folks there said they experienced twice or 3 times the amount of revenue they make on a normal Saturday. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Now, if we could just move that over to Pine, get some energy going down there. It's important to invigorate these spaces.
Yeah.
They're declaring it was a success in Long Beach Post, so I'm happy. And also the DLBA, Austin Mentor and the folks over there. I'm finding a way. Can we get involved in that? If there's alcohol and music, that always goes together.
What area was it in?
It was at the promenade right out here, one street over. Yeah, as a small experiment, and it went well. So that's good news.
Absolutely.
I think because then it will expand and hopefully there'll be more excitement
It's
downtown.
Southern California. We can be outside 360 days a year.
We could be Austin.
Let us walk around with our containers. Yeah, we could.
Austin, Texas, with a beach.
Yes.
What else do you need?
Only we're not surrounded by the rest of Texas.
But speaking of what surrounds you, right? What a great segue Melanie just gave me.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah. We're talking to an expert here. She's in. Please welcome to the show, Carline Hua from the City of Long Beach Community Development and Department, and she's a planner. First of all, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here.
Do you normally are the one that people reach out to in media to do an interview?
No.
I figured.
Definitely not. In the city, we all have our own projects, and so typically the project manager, or typically they want someone a little bit higher up in management to really talk to people.
We want to bring the folks that are lower on the totem pole, like us, because that way we can get the real skinny. But over there, you're a planner, so you participate in. Well, tell me what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a planner for the City of Long Beach's Community Development Department. In planning specifically, we oversee and ensure that development, all types of development, is consistent with regulation. And what's really unique within my time here, in 2023, our department, which was originally, named Community Development Services Department, did a name change to Community Development Department. And what that change really signified is that, when we think about development, it's not just about developers and buildings. It's about our community and how that urban fabric change really does impact our community. And so that change is hopefully something you'll see throughout all the projects, but essentially what we're here to talk about today.
It's kind of the buzzword now about development in communities, bringing people into this equation, not just buildings and bricks and mortar, but spaces where people can come together and somehow bring a unity to the community. When I got your email, and I'm talking about the survey the Open Spaces Survey, and recreation. So if you're a person that uses the parks, you go to the open spaces in Long Beach. I mean, does this also include like the Pacific Trail where you can walk your dog over? Is that considered an open space as well?
Yeah, so the open space and recreation element is a policy document, a part of the Long Beach General Plan. So it's required by the state to do. What it does is it inventories all of the open spaces in our city, and that designation helps protect it.
Oh, wow.
That protection then protects it from certain types of development, and you can then use that open space for a long time, right? And so we're thinking about protection of natural resources. Undeveloped land is how typically the state defines open space. So a lot of that open space you'll think typically like parks and our beaches, but there's also really unique opportunities. Like there's easements and utilities that aren't developed, and like how do we think about that informally to bring out and bring forth open spaces for people with lacking open spaces in a very built-out city like the city of Long Beach.
Give me an example of a unused area or underdeveloped area that could be an open space. Is there something locally that we could reference?
Well, something that's really interesting to me is that we have what's called, when we have vacant lots in the city, there's nothing built on them.
Yeah.
But we have the opportunity to participate in making that a community garden. And so that's a really, really unique opportunity of taking like, hey, this space already exists. It's vacant. It's not being used. How can it serve the community? And that type of open space, that community garden, is a really unique opportunity that we have as an ordinance within our city to provide as an opportunity for community co-benefits.
That's great. I always wonder about open lots that sit there open forever and thinking, are they just holding on to it, or are they going to build something here? Maybe parking?
Yeah, I mean, it really...
I'm always hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, the private property is, private property.
Right,
so
of
it's always about education and encouraging people to find ways to use their spaces in really unique ways that benefits everyone, including themselves.
So the survey is about getting information from us about this it's going to be updated document, in other words.
Yeah.
So from us, what are you looking for from the citizens of Long Beach?
So what we want is your lived experience and what you prioritize and want to see in your open spaces and the types of open spaces we want to see, right? So the survey itself talks about like the types of amenities you value or prioritize, which then helps us understand, okay, as a community, what are amenities we're lacking? Perhaps it's skate parks, perhaps it's basketball courts, perhaps it's pickleball. Everybody loves pickleball lately. All of these prioritizations and the data behind that allows us to understand, okay, these are our needs. Here's the data behind it. Now we can go for grants. Now we can go for monies or federal funding to help achieve this vision that this policy document helps articulate.
So does this also include the open spaces that are off the coastline, like those playgrounds and stuff? Would that be part of this open space initiative?
Yeah, like any place that is designated in the inventory as open space. And then, of course, we're trying to think about ways that's not just that designation, but informal spaces as well, and connecting that. Like, we are very built out, and sometimes what we're talking about earlier is like, how do we convene communities and make that chain a little bit more connected? And maybe there are spaces where we don't convene and we just protect nature, right? And that's important too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember years ago there were a series of concerts in parking lots.
That's
Lot A, whatever it was, about five or six different locations. I went to a couple that were on PCH, and there was one on Anaheim that were in pretty, urban areas that just had music concerts and little festival things. It was called Lot A, something.
I remember that.
Remember that? I always go to those things just so they keep happening. That's my way of supporting it.
I think food trucks and music in any place that maybe has, if you have an open field or
That's
an
all
open,
it takes.
wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
I mean, I walked down Elm Street last night, and the wine district there on Elm Street, they had put out these little miniature couches where you could just sit with people, and they were doing that. And I thought, how great, just to have someplace outside your apartment to go. Watch people stand outside their apartment on their cell phone or having a cigarette. Well, give them someplace to gather.
Right.
Maybe. I always think it's a great thing, especially with our parks, to find out what we need, how they're used. And that survey does go into detail. I took it right away. And also any complaints you have or things. I have one complaint, and I don't know who to address, but they took the park benches and the tables away from Cesar Chavez Park because we reported them dangerous. They were. There was a rebar sticking out. You could cut yourself. So I figured they'd come out and patch them up. No, they're gone. And nothing's come to replace them. It's been 8 months now. So I'm thinking, I put that in my survey. Because I thought, don't take away amenities that we used to gather, because we do gather. We have breakfasts out there once a month. And so now we have to bring our own tables.
Right.
But just that kind of stuff. If you're out there and you have that gripe, or you have a great idea, wouldn't it be great if we had this or that here? I mean, developing the dog park that's adjacent to the convention center, that sad little square rectangle of land. And somebody please, it needs help. So that's another one in my survey. So what are the important things that people need to know about what you're currently working on, updating this plan for the city?
So this plan is, again, a policy document that really serves to protect open space as designated. That's a very narrow purpose that the state carves out for that particular document. That means that a lot of the mechanisms to which we use that open space element, which is we have permits coming in, we're thinking about capital improvement projects for our city, right? We have to conform to that open space element. And so when we think about the open space element and we talk about things like amenities, like why don't we integrate into that open space element programs and policies that require us to have these minimum amenities and options, right? But what's key and what's a little bit difficult is this is a policy document. It's not the same as a budget, right? So we're not allocating money.
Got it.
It's also not a maintenance and operations document that sets regulations for how our Parks, Recreation, and Marine Department operates day to day to address, the maintenance of our parks. So it's a little bit different in that nuance, but like a lot of the great programming and policies we can establish can help be better at working together across departments to achieve improved services to our community. That's a great opportunity.
So we all see the growth here in Long Beach, the buildings going up everywhere, all of this happening. Is there ever a push-pull situation between what you do and the commercial ventures that are going on in downtown Long Beach? I mean, we've talked about putting these policies in place, but sometimes commercial ventures have ways of changing things.
Absolutely. So when we think about new development coming in, we always want to require a certain level of open space, common open space. And sometimes that's not always possible based on just how it's built out and the areas. And getting, it's also small businesses that may not have the experience to navigate the permitting process and the urban planning process. And so our space right now that we're trying is to just really demystify like what is planning, what's the planning permitting process, and I think that speaks to really your point of like how do we balance what we ask of commercial and all types of development, industrial as well, to integrate the design standards that we require of all projects, right? So this open space document really gives us an opportunity to look at our regulations and see like what needs to be updated so that we have this standard language where we're not treating everyone differently. Everyone looks at the document, they know exactly what they have to provide if they want to build in Long Beach.
So it's a template for that sort of thing. Yeah,
it's a great way to look at it.
I'm so glad there are people like Carline over at the city taking care of this.
Too.
Because you sound like you're really on it. And that's important, I think. What do you enjoy doing your job?
I do. I think there's a lot of times where I get to sit with people that like have amazing and beautiful stories, and we get to see how like these little moments over time impact, like being able to provide housing for people.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
I heard the story of providing a playground on the west side where there's not a lot of playgrounds.
Right.
And a child ran up to the playground and they said, wow, we've never had anything like this before. And like when you hear things like that, it's really beautiful.
That's great. Yeah. That's the kind of thing you come back 30 years from now and show your grandkids, hey, see that playground? Yeah. I was involved in that. That's wonderful. Carline, thank you for coming by.
Absolutely.
And helping shed a little light on the survey, especially.
They should send you out more often to talk.
Really?
You're great at this.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
Now, if people want to find the survey, right? The link to the survey, can they find it somewhere online?
Yes, it's on our website. If you want to quickly just look up in Google City of Long Beach Open Space and Recreation Element
easy.
Update. We update also opportunities to provide feedback in person. And in the future, the survey is not one stop. We take your feedback and it's going to be iterative. So future workshops, future policy and goal building.
Beautiful.
That's going to be based on the survey responses you provide.
Keep us updated on those workshops because we want to publicize them for you. That's what we do.
Oh, beautiful.
Let people know where that stuff is happening. That's great. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you also.
And now it's time for a little music.
As we do on this show, lots of new music. In fact, I think the whole show today is pretty much new music.
It's all new music.
Mumford & Son has a new album out. This is a song called Carline.
Or we're going into Trump Dump? I know.
I still think you need the other dump sound effect. Okay.
You know, I'm not sure I could find it on
I'll say
YouTube.
it. You know.
Why don't you record it for
Yeah,
us?
I was
Noel?
gonna say.
There you go. There we go. And I thought a new way that we'll handle this today is let's decide to go after. There's so many stories that let's decide this way.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
We can't do them all, man.
Yeah, okay, this one lands on. It's been a terrible 5 days for the truth. It was a editorial in the Atlantic, and it just sort of sums up our last week. So I figured this is a great way to do it. And this is he really fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yep.
Because when you're upset at the numbers that you helped create, well, that's what you do.
Yep.
And of course, confidence.
That's what Stalin did too, by the way.
Hello.
Just thought I'd throw that out.
Yeah, no. And that's important to remember.
It is important.
Listen.
There's a playbook for this.
When he's doing things this week, like saying he's going to take over Washington, D.C., you know the smoke signals are coming fast and furious because that's a smoke screen. Something's going down below that, and we know what that is, right? And the Epstein stuff. And then when he fires the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so you know that we're going to go insane, the entire country.
Yep.
He does that. And then when he decides to put news out there that he's going to add a ballroom to the White House, real smoke screen. I mean, that's when you really know something's going on.
Yeah, he's there to stay.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I didn't even think
and
about
nobody's
it that
better
way.
at big ballrooms than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants to set it up right for the long-term stay.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
And Mike saying, wait a minute, that deserves another spin.
Oh, no.
To find out what story we... Spin it again. All right, Melanie. What we land on...
Tick, tick.
Oh, well...
Dump, it's another dump.
It's another dump. J.D. Vance's team had the water level of an Ohio river raised for the family's boating trip. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yes, and I...
Good Lord.
I fact-checked that because it was so stupid.
Yeah,
And it
and-
is indeed true.
Yes. They raised the water, and they say so they could have safe navigation on the lake. So they needed more water, and so, of course, he managed to use his power to get that handled by the
Yeah,
federal.
there's still not clean water
Now
in
remember-
Flint, right? So
This is the man, by the way, that is saying we needed to save billions because we were wastefully spending.
yeah,
Yeah. Just reminding you of that, too.
that guy.
Yeah, that is insane. But not as insane as, let's see, there are six more stories. Hold on.
Oh no, we can't do them all. It's too much.
And this one lands on RFK because there are two things this week from that news, right? RFK's stunning claim about black people and vaccines sparks concern from medical experts. Well, of course
Oh, I
it
didn't
would.
hear that one.
Oh, yeah. He says that black people's systems respond differently to vaccines. And so basically the research we're doing doesn't include them.
Oh, it's kind of like what they said about the Jews during before World War II
Yeah.
and the medical tests. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well,
If you read history, this
And
is...
I do.
Oh, yeah, and I do too.
and I go
this
nuts when I hear this thing.
Yes.
We ought to put a chart side by side and see the fall of the Third Reich and the fall of the U.S. democracy and see what we check off the
Oh, you
boxes.
can put some Stalin and Lenin,
Yeah.
in there too.
Yeah.
Little dash of Putin.
And it's always under the guise of we want to protect Americans and their health.
Yeah, some
Yeah, no.
Americans.
Yeah, not if you're black, apparently. And then this week also he cut $500 million in our mRNA vaccine contracts.
Yeah.
These are the groups that are developing the future vaccines we need. And if you heard about the virus coming out of China now, the wing dong wak.
Well, and this is what. Whoa, back off on that one, dude.
I don't know.
Back off on that one. This is what's upsetting is that this side was so upset that we were requiring vaccinations coming out of COVID. You don't have the right. You can't tell me what to do. And then they take away our right to protect our health.
Protect ourselves, yeah.
What about that?
Yeah.
What about my right? I want the vaccines. I'm pro-science. And now it's going to be harder and harder to get them.
Insane.
Well, that's counterintuitive to his other thing about the black people. If he does away with the research on it, how are they going to correct that problem? That
Correcting the problem isn't his concern.
That alleged problem.
Yeah.
That he's brought up. So
Yeah, himself. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get tired.
Yeah.
I do. But let's find out one more.
Oh.
Michael, take us, friend.
Isn't there a story about kittens or butterflies we can try to balance
There's about
out with?
playlists and manga.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Don't you love this?
This is from Out magazine, which is a gay publication, I believe.
Yes, it is.
But they have put together a list of some of Mega's biggest hits from some of Mega's biggest stars.
Yeah.
Kid Rock?
No, he's not on this, but we're talking about politicians. And they all tend to lean in the gay direction.
Yes, they're anthems.
Well, they're all closeted. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So,
Yes, this is amazing.
yeah, here's like, for example, Ron DeSantis. Here we go. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. All right.
It's still.
An ABBA tune, 2 Elton John tunes, a Queen tune, and a Village People tune.
I know which one.
Okay. So there you go. Even J.D. Vance, he only listed 2, and one of them is from Tracy Chapman,
Yeah.
a huge LBGT
TQ musician, of course.
musician.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Whitney Houston. So, but it goes on and on.
Well, these are
they're clearly songs. First of all, they're not very good songs for the most part. The only one I saw on there that I really thought was a great song was "Respect" from Aretha Franklin on it,
Wow.
which is kind of ironic because it's kind of
Right.
it's kind of it's a civil rights song when you come right down
Right.
to it.
I love it. These are the same politicians, by the way, that end up in airplane bathrooms after
Absolutely.
they legislate against
Yeah.
homosexuals. Then they end up in bathrooms with homosexuals.
Yes.
Doing research, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's it.
God, this is nuts. It really is going nuts. And you have to bring yourself, like I said, you have to bring yourself up to like a regular feeling. You have to make yourself feel good in the morning.
You do.
You
No,
do, right? And I thought it was just me. I thought, oh no, I'm going nuts.
Are you making
or
yourself feel good in the morning?
I try.
Gummies.
Yeah. But for breakfast?
Why not?
You know what? I'm with you. It is a crazy world out there. But like I said, we are going to be talking more and more to members of our community, our locally sourced journalism partners over at Long Beach Post. I want to have them come on and tell you about their experience putting together the news now that they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And how that's altered what they do. And I think you're going to be surprised to find out the characters that are behind it. They're wonderful guys and women. And everybody over there is just so, they just do what they do because they love it.
Well, and the only way to survive this madness that we're really we don't have any control over it right now, is to get small in your community, your neighborhood, your city, because changes are being made on a small level, and they're important and they matter, but they're not going to be in your news sources.
And what people are seeing are notifications from other journalism sites in Long Beach. There's a couple, the Watchdog, what's another? You're seeing more people are turning to things that are talking about our community because they're tired of the Washington barrage that we just took you through.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that.
It is one of those things, though, that keeping your eye on the ball here, how does that make a difference? And longbeachpost.com is where I look to see what are the policies that are being enacted for our tariffs, regarding also our immigration. You'll find that all there. Take a look at that. And then we're going to ask them to somehow cooperate with us in the presentation of these local stories. Because local stories, man, is where it's at.
Yes.
Yeah, there's rumblings of this sort of news gathering going on a national level as well. There's a rumor out there that Rachel Maddow is about to
No, really.
put out something where there's not going to be any commercial. It's not a commercial venture of any
Or
kind,
government spending.
and
Government support.
it's going to be completely nonprofit. Of course, there we go
There we
again
go.
with another dip into the public for
Right.
more money, taking it away from people like us on a grassroots level. But still, on that level, at least she'll get the news out there without any sort of big brother watching.
Or federal interference. To
Or
me,
federal
it's insane the way
Right.
the media is caving.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. They're just like, you know what? We're out of here. So while they go after the big guys, and you know, the way they do it, of course, is if they came after us this way, we'd be out of business in 10 minutes because they hit you with lawsuits that you have
Right.
to defend yourself. You have to hire lawyers. That's how they do the big guys.
That's how
And
they
that's what they're
terrorize.
messing
That's how
with
they
the-
terrorize you. Yeah.
And that first they came for the press. Actually, it was second that they came for the press. But
Yeah.
but wow. So we're trying to just hang on and be a voice for Long Beach. And I
Yeah.
think that's what all the local journalists who are working so hard are hoping to provide you with as well. What's going on here and what's important to you. Yeah, we know about his plans for the ballrooms and the Rose Garden and all that crap, but it's about what's happening here. And we hope to be a part of that with you, especially as we move on into... We got to do something other than Trump news because it'll make you all sick out there, just like us.
let's work to drop the
Yeah.
Trump
Or make
dump
it-
at
yeah.
some point.
Maybe just one spin.
Well, as we, yeah, one spin a week. We could do,
Yeah.
and let people pick it. But I think another way for us would be to get out in the public. Let's
Yeah.
find out what people say. So, you know, maybe there's opportunities for you and Mike and I to get together and record in front of folks.
Absolutely.
I really
Yeah,
want to
I'd
hear
love
what
that.
they
I love
say.
being out there. You know,
Yeah.
we're in it for the people. So, you know, I know
That's
I love
all
being
we
out
got
there.
that's different. Because,
Right.
man, we can't
Right.
do what other big media corporations can do with a big payroll. But hey, we try, and we do try here. I mean, the voices you're going to hear on KLBP, they're all people from here that are just as concerned as you are about what's happening around them. So they just keep playing music, which is what we're going to do right now. But coming up next on the show, we're going to have some sensible resistance from Melanie. But first...
New music once again. This is Allison Krauss and Union Station back together after a while because Allison was out with Robert Plant for a
Yeah,
long
that's
period
right.
of time
Yeah.
recording. But it's her original band and a song called One Ray of Shine.
It's Mornings on the Beach for your Saturday, Sunday morning. Danny Lemos right here.
Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And you want to find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We are also on Spotify, where our podcasts are hosted.
Yep.
And also on YouTube.
YouTube as well, yes.
yeah.
How do
We're
they
all
find
over
us?
the
They just
place.
search Mornings on the Beach.
Yeah.
And they'll find us.
It'll come up.
Yeah, you're smart. You know how to do that. And you're also smart because if you're looking for ways to resist, they're not always, getting out in the streets shouting. But if you want to do that, we applaud you.
Yes.
But sensible resistance. And Melanie has
Well,
to say about that.
I called it resistance because that's one of the things I'm always looking for. In NPR, it's 11 ways readers resist an impulse to shop. And I call it resistance
I
because
do.
anything that isn't consumerism, right, is against this capitalist system that is, not doing so well.
not so well at the moment.
And also, when you're online and you're on Instagram and the ads that come up, the system is really designed to tell you that you don't have everything you need, so you better buy this thing.
Yeah.
So giving yourself more time before shopping, not only because of the economy and money, but also just to be more aware of what your needs versus your wants are. So I got this list off of NPR this morning. And one of the ideas was to go shopping and give yourself an imaginary amount of money, like $500, walk around through the store, see what you would get for that $500, and then not buy it. Now, I didn't like that one because then somebody in the store has to put all your stuff away.
Well, don't just look at it.
Just look at it. Another recommendation was to get your dopamine from the library.
Oh.
Just walk around the library and see what you can see. Like in the main library we have here, it's not just books. There's all kinds of community stuff going on, and a craft shop. Have you ever been there? In the where they have a bunch of like die cut machines and different
Yes.
kind of machines that
Yes.
people can use. So going to the library, going to a secondhand store, which I love.
Do it all the
that's
time.
a good
I'm a
I do it all the
huge
time.
thrifter. Yeah, I'd
that's
say
a good one.
Reuse
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Let it sit in your online shopping cart for a while. I do that too. When I go on Amazon, or now it's Home Depot, I just put everything in there, and then I revisit it in a few days.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, and
you end up buying half of it.
And you're like, maybe not this one.
Yeah, that was a whim. Oh, yeah.
Create a wish list for the stuff that you'll eventually forget you wanted.
I do, and you're right.
Right, I do that too.
I forget it.
Because you see these ads and you feel, I need that. They said that I'm not whole without it. And then a couple weeks later, you're like,
Without it.
Envision exactly how and when you'll use it. I do that too. And I look at whatever the thing is. If I have something of a similar ilk, I think, where am I storing that, and how often have I dug it out?
Exactly. It does help. And I love the fact that just by reusing something, you're helping to resist, in a sense.
Yeah.
The overspending.
Or that Facebook, I'm on Facebook group that's Free Stuff Long Beach, and people post stuff, and you go pick it up. And I have a couple pieces of furniture I got from there, and I've given a ton of stuff there.
You could try the Danny Limo's retirement plan, which is, now that I'm retired from work, I drive slower in the streets, and on trash day, there are things that people put out. So the other day, I'm looking at my little mini rice cooker, and I use it a lot. So it's beat up. It needs to be replaced. I thought, you know what? I'll go to the thrift store and look for another one. Mm-hmm. Driving down the street, I look to my right. Is that a rice cooker? I am not, as if it dropped out of the heavens. Not only that, it matches the exact one I have. It's exactly the same, but brand new.
That's divine intervention.
Yes,
without a doubt.
That happens to me all the time.
The Long Beach alley gods are for real.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember one time putting a futon out in the alley.
Oh my God.
And the next day it was gone, and this really cool chair was there. And I was like, oh, cool. And I put the chair in my house, and I had it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
Every time we drive by Orange, I think it's Orange and First, they've got a whole office furniture. A desk, a bookcase, everything's out there on the street, ready for anybody. And every time we pass, Pat goes, "Oh, if you were doing an office, there's your furniture." I said, "You know me well. I would do that." Because, because it's so, don't throw it out. They also threw out a mini waffle maker that makes waffles in the shape of spider webs for Halloween.
Cool.
And 2 Halloween silicone trays for making pumpkin cookies.
Sweet.
Boom, I'm set. I'm all set. So, reuse it, recycle it. I think of an event for this station would be a swap where you bring something free and you can take something.
My circle of girlfriends do a clothing swap and invite every woman they know.
Oh my gosh, even that.
And we lay out all the sizes, small to XXL, and it ends up. I come back with stuff every single time that I wear, and you end up building community too.
And I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
In an open space, like we were talking with Carline.
I liked this one. It said, "Don't get suckered into the marketing. When I encounter sales, I try reframing it as discount as distraction." Right? Ask yourself this: is this really a good deal, or is it pulling me away from what I really need?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a great one.
And it is. This is a list that came from National Public Radio.
Yep.
And like us, we're all under besiege at the moment.
I like the list. I liked everything on it except the library one, because I went to 4 years of college and I never went to the library. Then I'm not going to start now.
Stand your ground, Mike.
I'm standing my ground.
Would you go if I told you they have power tools you can rent?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
they do.
Power tools.
I didn't know this, but you check out your there's so much going on
that's
at your local
brilliant.
library.
That's brilliant, because there's right now I need a saw to cut through this one thing.
There you go.
And I don't want to go spend $300 for one, or whoever knows how much.
We're missing an opportunity because not everybody in Long Beach, believe it or not, has internet access.
True.
Yeah.
17% of Long Beach doesn't have internet access. Why the library is important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So finding
Very
another
important.
way to reach people, that's why it's important to. And could you imagine not being able to surf the internet at your whim?
Yeah.
That'd be a tough life. But again, we're, privileged.
Don't listen to me. I'm not going to go to the library, but that doesn't mean you should.
But you should stay right here, because we're going to come back with the poop rule. This is about, if you need to declutter, we have the rule.
There's a poop rule?
Yes, it's called the poop rule on how to declutter. We're going to get into it in a minute. And it's going to be
But
little...
first...
There's a song goes along with it?
No, I don't think the song goes along with it.
But I'm going to recommend you eat your breakfast first. But go ahead.
Yeah, while the song's playing, eat your breakfast, and we'll be back. This is more new music. Robert Plant, on his own this time, without Allison, and a song called Everybody's Song. right, that's Robert Plant. Brand new music
Love it.
from him, Everybody's Song.
It's great. You know, it sort of just took me along. It took me a minute, but it took me along there. This is Danny Lemos.
Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
We're Mornings on the Beach, and it's just a few more minutes of our show. We want to get to the new rule about decluttering. So are you into, like, I got to get all these stuff, my closets are overpacked? There's a great way that people are doing. Now, I don't know anybody who does this, but what it would be is if you could imagine, pull that blue coat out of your closet, would you take a poop on it? This is serious
Where's the
stuff
dump
now.
sound when we need it?
Take a poop on it.
Because if you would, then you don't need to, you would say, would I poop on that? Right? Or
I don't know.
I'm not,
So that's a good sign or a bad sign?
apparently, it helps people to focus who have ADHD. I want to use the vernacular, but I can't.
Yeah.
Would I on this or not? Right? And then you judge if you have a hard time getting rid of something, just imagine. And if you would, then get rid of it. Right?
Okay, but if I'm holding on to it, I wouldn't want to
I don't
poop
wanna,
on it.
I don't want to poop on any of my things.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't get that.
Well, apparently, therapists are all weighing in, saying this stuff really does work.
I'm not going to their houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nor would I want to take things that they've taken to the thrift store.
You know, my
you
my
never
rule
know how
is,
they ended up there.
My rule is: have you used it in the last year?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I can't even live by that.
No, I
rule.
do. I
It's
get rid of
horrible.
it.
I'm
You
a
know.
Something
pack
has
rat.
to force you. Just imagine that you had to move yourself. Then it gets easy.
Oh yeah, I've been getting rid of stuff
Yeah. I'm trying to get the rule here about,
without pooping on any of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of poop.
When trying to decide if you should keep or get rid of an item, ask yourself the question: if the object had poop on it.
Okay, that's.
Okay,
would you
I got it
clean
wrong.
off?
Now, see
okay,
that?
that's all.
Mine is
That's
more
a
dramatic.
Yeah, you guys all different.
That's a little different.
It
Would
may
you bother
speak to
cle-
my own mind.
Would
but-
you bother cleaning it or not?
Yeah, would I wash it or throw it
Okay.
away?
Okay, that I'll buy.
right.
I'm with you.
And apparently this came from the font of information known as TikTok.
Well.
Yeah, well, that's where everything comes from.
Must
I
be
would
true.
poop on TikTok.
Although
Yeah.
I did try a recipe that I saw, think, no, it can't be that simple. All you take, and the girls, she says,
Yeah.
take a ricotta cheese, a cup of cottage cheese as well, blend that together with 2 eggs and a spoonful of brown sugar, and then bake it. Okay, that sounds easy, right?
Pretty simple.
And then
yeah.
you poop on something? Is that where we're going with this?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying that something
High
I learned on TikTok
high protein.
worked.
Oh, okay.
That sucker worked. It was a little mini souffle.
Oh, okay.
But I had to go out to the store to get those little ramekins. First of all, here's something you ought to do. Go to a thrift store and ask them if they have a ramekin and watch the expression on the young person's face.
One of my favorite words of all time is ramekin.
I had to learn it from my nephew.
Yeah, I learned it like 5 years ago.
But those are little, in case you don't know, little souffle cups. Did I say souffle cups? And I went out and got them and did the recipe. It worked. So not everything on TikTok is false. So if you feel like you got poop on your clothes, if you want to get rid of it that way, go for it.
So in
We're all behind
review,
you.
the question is actually, if there was poop on it, would you clean it? And if you would clean it, keep it. If
Yes.
you would not get rid of it.
Yeah, just to clarify.
There we go.
I like the mental images I was provoking.
Yes, I would poop on that and that and that. That's why I got rid of my husband.
Oh, dun, dun.
Yikes.
And that is it for another
That's
show,
a
ladies and
close.
gentlemen. It's Mornings on the Beach. Before we go, anything on LA radio sessions?
Yeah,
coming
we're going to
up on
have
Sunday?
on this week Bill Grisalia, who is the promoter and actually one of the performers at the New Blues Festival coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the New Blues Festival, which is a big event that happens here every once in a while. It is coming up. It'll be on this week and next week, the same show, and we're going to go over all the artists that are playing, and it includes the artists we're going out with.
No kidding.
Yeah, Anna Popovich is headlining the event, and amazing guitarist, amazing performer, and she's going to be headlining. So
fantastic.
we'll be talking more about that as the event gets closer.
All right, take us out.
This is it. Anna Popovich and
It's over, guys.
and Strong Taste.
See you next week.